Okay. So we are back at our spot here at 6779, 15, 16 meter clip. And I think we are, I mean, during the day here, obviously, we're going to probably be getting smaller bream. I think I'm going to try to take the leader off of both rigs at this point. If you saw the half episode, the 11.5, we had some pretty decent, couple of decent eyed come in here during the evening, as well as a couple of bream. It does look like some decent bream are coming out, and of course we're trying to also get a easy rough order done, which will probably become a lot more manageable once we get to evening again. Looks like that's a little bream as well. Is this 24 hook? Yeah. So we did find rough over here. I just don't know if it'll be quite as reliable as our little spot a little farther down the coast. But we're just kind of throwing into this 4-meter hole for the rough. And primarily we're just hoping to see some nice bream or eyed come out over here. And the reason why we took the leader off is that it allows us to get a little bit more strength out of our rig. The leader was limiting us to 3.2. This allows us to get, I don't know, somewhere around 4 or just over 4. We just want to watch that friction break in case we hit something really big. So let's see how good this spot is here in the daytime, afternoon, and then transitioning into evening, especially without leader. They're both on basic bottom rigs. It's a ground bait we're using, size 6 hooks, and we are still using our pearl barley. Somebody asked in a recent video, with going to Old Berg, do you want to have upgraded equipment? And I think they meant even past this. And I would say no. You can go to Old Berg even with like 3 of these beginner kits, feeder kits, and start going for bream and tench and other stuff there. It is possible that you will get yourself in trouble at Old Berg. The carp are a lot more prevalent at times there, and a lot bigger than what you might run into here at Mosquito. But, you know, it's just kind of a chance it's okay to take, I think. So you can go to Berg even without waiting to upgrade your gear. But if you do want to wait, you're obviously able to do that as well. The decision I'm going to have to make moving forward in this series, since we are staring down level 12, just leveling too quickly to be honest, but are we just going to go to Old Berg where the bream have been really good lately? Or are we going to experiment a little bit at winding or even Belaya with some spin fishing? So kind of just what direction are we going to go there? Something I'm going to have to decide. I think for a lot of players who get into bottom fishing early in the game, it probably makes sense to stay focused on bottom fishing and focus bream and some of the other good fishing that's available at Old Berg. But some folks have really enjoyed fishing at Belaya, and honestly, past level 12, I mean, you do start to slow down on how fast you're leveling. So you can do both. I mean, make some silver on bream at Old Berg, get some sort of spinning set up, even just a starter one, and go experience Belaya as well. They can both be good resources of silver. So I don't know you necessarily have to choose. The most natural thing for me would be to go to Berg, but it does sound kind of fun just to see what we could run into at either Belaya or Winding in terms of spin fishing. Start leveling up spin fishing some. You know, we're about to unlock these two, Oldberg and Belaya, right? You know, when I first leveled my main account, and even in most leveling adventures that I've done in the past, I tend not to get into spin fishing until Quarry. Because early on, I would just prefer trolling to sort of ease into spin fishing. But some of that's because Belaya didn't exist back when I leveled my main, and even the first couple of leveling experience guides we did, I don't think Belaya was even an option. Spinning has gotten better early, so there's definitely options. Some people are just really into spin fishing, so you know, it's still a little harder, I think, if you focus just spinning from the start, but it's not near as hard as it used to be. It's a lot more, it's a more legitimate option at this point, I'd say, than it ever has been before. Maximum total weight of fish caught. Yeah, we're definitely going for heavier fish now than we have been in the past. And even without leaders, I'm pretty impressed with kind of what kind of bite rate we're getting over here. $18.29, $18.30. Let's see if the rough want to start coming in. Maybe not quite yet, but hopefully they will start showing up here again. Yeah, there's a nice one. We've got a that really easy rough order for the small ones is at the cafe, so we definitely want to attempt to finish that if nothing else. We're not really getting points very often at this point with digging. You may occasionally still get it up to, I don't know, I think I've seen it with digging certainly up to mid-30s. It just gets so seldom. It may be possible to occasionally get it past that even. But for the most part, once you're to, you know, bait harvesting 25% or whatever, a lot of your points, unless you're really patient, a lot of your points are just going to be from you know, making baits, which we still need to make a couple oatmeal. I think that's what we said we were going to do. Then we make a ton of sweet dough and then a little bit of wheat grain. And that should easily get us to the next category of baits. So the downside of this, what I was hoping while we're waiting on the bream to come in, I was hoping on the pearl barley we would see more roach during the day. I guess we could try to force it by putting roach ground bait on, but I thought it might just happen naturally. It's really not. We're still just getting really mostly undersized bream here. It's just a bream spot. Even though we're using worms a lot, we have 842. We're digging way more than we're using. And that will eventually be the case with red worms. If we were using red worms a lot, though, we could run out of those. You don't get them every dig, and you don't get multiples as often with only having 1 point in bait harvesting. Is that a roach? Yeah. That's what I was hoping would happen more during the day. We'd have to be really unlucky tonight on bream or I'd to not hit level 12 in this video, I think. And then, let's see, we're going to be at 42, 62 with the rough order. We're still an episode or two away from being able to afford a third either feeder kit or one spinning kit. So we still have a little bit of time to decide exactly what we want to do moving forward. If the fish hooks on and then moves towards us or just sits there, we'll never know. If it pulls away though, we'll see the line moving. There it goes. So you can fish like that with a little bit of slack in your line. But overall, I still think it's better to have it tight, because if it then runs at you, that will produce the slack in the line. And if it runs away from you, you should hear the bells. It's just really nice. The rough bite would be a lot easier to tell if it was a nicer rig and we could go to a 14-gram quiver tip instead of the, what is it, 44, 45 by default, 42. It doesn't always show the really small fish bites. Let us hope that leaders are in stock at either Belaya or Old Berg. I think at Old Berg, over the years, half the time I've done leveling series, they have been in stock. Half the time they've not been. It's definitely not a definite. So let's check the weekly bream. I believe they'll be at Old Berg this week. Yep. And notice they're all coming in on P-Porridge. Now that doesn't mean you can't catch them without P-Porridge, but the biggest ones are coming in on P-Porridge, right? So how long do we have to get to P-Porridge? It's pretty far down the list. Cottage cheese dough even comes first, and we have to go to Quarry to get cottage cheese dough. So there's no way we're getting to P-Porridge before we go to Quarry Lake. So it's going to be a while. Once we unlock semolina and garlic dough is a really good 30% semolina. You just kind of have to, make a bunch of semolina, which it's a good bait at times. Even at Old Berg, sometimes semolina is really good. Sometimes even Crucian Gibble trophies come in on semolina, so it can be fun. But you're really trying to get to 35, because as often as it's pea porridge at Old Berg, it's garlic dough. Garlic dough is a really good bream bait. And make a couple cheese cubes as well. Cheese can be good. Tench. What am I not thinking of it? The barbel sometimes. Cheese is worth making, but you'll use a lot more garlic dough if you do bream fishing. And then at 40, you get cottage cheese dough, another good bream bait. I don't know if cottage cheese dough is as good as it used to be. I don't feel like it cycles in as often as it used to, but like at Volkov especially, sometimes cottage cheese dough is just great. But you got to get to 40 to get that and pea porridge. So I guess technically, since 40 on both, I'm wrong. Since it's 40 on both, you don't have to go to Quarry to make pea porridge. I was thinking it was cottage cheese at 40 and pea porridge at 45, but you actually can make pea porridge at 40. So that is possible. If we spend a lot of silver and attention leveling baits, we could get to pea porridge relatively quickly. We don't really want to keep that friction brake on 25. Let's keep it on 20. Hey, it's a roach again. Yay. I don't remember what the specifics were. We might not be anywhere near the roach order, but there was one. Oh, this might be an eyed. Did you see how it was just sitting there? I don't really run on you or start fighting sometimes until you actually pick it up. Oh, it's a roach. Oh, it's a nice one. Is that our first roach over a kilo? Let's check. Oh, I think the rough might be starting to come in. That would be great. That was a big roach. Let's see if that's our personal best roach. Oh, yes. Here come the rough, right? Go turn that order in soon, too. All right, so let's do this. Drink a little tea. Make some ground bait. We're getting a little low on our bream ground bait. So that's crackers, millet porridge, maggots, sunflower oil, and we call it bream fake. It's working, so we're going to just make 3 stacks of it here. And then to level ground bait, take off the attractant, just use crackers. And then we'll just toss these away. Eventually you unlock where you can use feed as the base. And then you go back to using an attractant, so you use feed and the most recent attractant you've unlocked. You can actually level ground bait that way all the way to 100%, I believe. Probably ought to check our lines here. Okay. Let's hope this one's a roach. It's tiny. And I haven't forgotten, we will still check. Oh, that's not a rough. That's not a rough at all. It's probably a little bream, huh? So if there are bream in this hole and it's interrupting our rough fishing too much, we'll move it back down to the other spot. Ooh, nice white bream. Okay, I don't mind that at all. But I have not forgotten. We want to check and see if that was our personal best roach. Look how close we are to level 12, by the way. Alright, statistics, fish, common roach. Yep, that's the biggest one. That is the biggest one we've caught. So this line's at 15 meters. There's level 12. This line's at 15 meters, and this line's at 16 meters. Other than that, they are pretty much identical at this point. Hey, I don't mind that. Keep catching those roach until a big bream or an eyed wants to come in. Just keep catching the roach. All right. Let's go check that. Let's go check that cafe order. Well, actually, let's look at what rough we have. Let's say we want to have 5 that are not markers. If we're just 1 off. No, we're 2 off. It might just be worth turning it in. Let's just go check, because we also might see. I think there's been time that a new order or 2 could have come up And if it's a second rough order, then we want to just hold on to all the rough for now. So I think we have 2 skill points to decide what to do with. At this point, we're going to forego any more points in harvesting. I just don't think it's worth it with the digging. I do like having 3 points in digging eventually, but at this level, points are so hard to come by. Once you hit level 20, you'll start getting 2 points per level, 33 points, and so on. So it's probably worth waiting. So we just need 2 more roach, but it's getting late. I don't know if we'll get them or not. So yeah, we've still got this, but this order's about to change over. Is anything else close? I mean, I don't know. We may be done before this one changes over, but... So we've got 1 more chance at a second rough order, right? It'd be nice to hit this roach order. I don't know. What are the chances? Maybe. I think the bream are going to just get so dominant at night and the eyed that I don't know that the roach will have a chance to get on. If we could get 1 more now, maybe we see 1 more at daylight or something, but it's just down to RNG, really. Spots like this are so so nice for someone who is leveling up, trying to get the silver, just to be able to get on a spot that's like pretty decent like this. I'm glad we were able to find this spot. Hopefully it'll keep up for folks for a while. Oh, that is not a rough and probably not a white bream either. So we have enough rough. Unless another rough order pops, we have enough. It's a gibble? What is that? Yeah. You never know what we're going to catch over here on this worm. I think somebody just commented on a video. Let's see if we can pull up comments, see what's most recent. I know I've missed a few comments. Thanks so much for this gameplay video. I never heard about... Oh, sorry. It's somebody talking about a disc golf video I made a while ago on a disc golf game. That's funny. Oh, man. Yeah, it was Tyler asking, I've been wondering when you would start moving to Old Berg. Would it be best to have something like the Proton there? I don't think, I mean, yeah, maybe it'd be best, but I think you can start fishing Old Berg with basic. See, there's the eyed. With basic feeder setups. As long as they're the kits, not the, like, starter things that, you know, like we have on our third line, but, like, these kits, I think you can start taking some chances, catching some bream, doing some Old Berg stuff. It's chub. This is a fun little spot. I mean, you'd love for it to be like more consistent 1 kilo bream. That's just not what this spot is, but there's enough there to keep it interesting. And then the eyed and roach and other stuff, like, it's pretty cool. I've enjoyed this spot a lot. And it helps that we're able to, like, basically rob the cafe with these rough orders at the same time. But the decision whether or not to go for the spin fishing kit next or a third feeder kit is an interesting one. I think if you do the spin fishing, you're kind of committing to doing some more at winding. And also, I wonder if that fish is on. I think it's an eyed. Nope, I'm wrong. Doing more at winding and then also maybe checking out Belaya some. which just means putting a little bit of silver towards a few spinner baits and hopefully sticking with it long enough to get your return on investment. It never hurts to start leveling up your spin fishing though, because that'll make your transition, if you do end up trolling at Quarry, that much easier. I think the safer approach might be to get a third feeder kit next so that you can hit the bream pretty hard and earn some silver that way. But that takes longer to get to, to get a spin fishing kit together that way. And the 149 silver, it's just not that much silver in the grand scheme of things. At Old Berg, that's, a decent night of bream can produce that much sometimes, especially with a cafe order. Couldn't see the line there for a second. It looked like it was doing something weird. It's like 2 a.m. I've always noticed this, even like with bream fishing. Sometimes between 2 and 3 a.m., it'll just get a lot slower. But then I think after 3 a.m., things seem to start picking up again, even for like night biting fish or whatever. And then by 5 a.m., some of the daytime fish start really engaging again, feeding. So I think there's something on this. Yeah. Let's see. It's a marker rough, I would think. If it's a white bream, it might not be a marker. Oh, no, that's a nice rough. 85 kilo. We're about to hit 30% on bottom fishing. Which, by the way, hitting 30% is significant. Oh, no, it's 35. I'm sorry. Never mind. 30% is not significant at all. But unlocking Classic Hair Rig is a deal because, yes, for the most part, you use that rig to fish for carp. But you can also sometimes use that rig to, try to get trophy-eyed on little boilies or even bream or... sometimes those little boilies can be pretty good. It just depends on the spot and what you're trying to hit. It's usually not great bite rate unless you're also fishing for carp. But sometimes the quality of the fish you'll catch on them. So like maybe it's worth it to have one set up with boilies sometimes. No, I think we're just... Are we just one roach away now? Was 300 grams big enough? 350? We could get one more now that it's about to be daylight. I think that was what, like a 15 or 20 silver order, which is pretty good for just catching roach. There's a marker chub. Very nice. So many of the chub we catch here on Pearl Barley are just under marker size, but that one was a good one. I mean, just throw the worm in over here, give it 3 minutes. There's almost always a rough on the line. Almost always. This has been a good little session here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus all the rough. Just seeing how many markers we're catching. I mean, we definitely are catching a pretty high percentage of non-markers in this spot. But every once in a while you're getting a really interesting fish. So I think it's worth it. It would do better with leaders. We just don't have the right leader size. So somebody asked what's my Discord. The easiest way to get the Discord invite is to just go to the Twitch channel, MDawg Gaming on Twitch, and type !Discord. I think you can do that anytime if you go to the chat, but if I might be wrong, I might have to be live. I'm not sure on that. I just honestly don't have the time to send out personal invites to everybody. I wish I could. You might, if you jump into our in-game channel here on RF4, you know, maybe there's somebody that would help you with that. I don't know. I don't want to say that they would, though. But if you are looking for a place to hang out... Oh, I got kicked out of our channel. That's funny. That's why somebody said hello. Okay, that's so funny. So whenever there's a big patch or update, sometimes it kicks you out of the channel you're in. Which, this has kind of been nice to like see what other people are catching around us. And this person said hello, and they weren't even in our channel. That's cool. Level 14. Ooh, nice Donich. Wait, what? 271 gram at for Donich Rough at level 14. That's very nice. But if you're looking for a place to hang out, search for channels, MY space DAWGS. Click join. That number always goes down after a big update because everybody gets kicked out and has to rejoin. It's funny. Okay. Do we have any fish on? Man, that means for the last, like, several episodes I haven't been in the in-game chat. There's been so much excitement lately. By the way, we've gotten a real downswing here in bite rate, haven't we? There's been such excitement lately about the release of Lost Ark finally coming to North America. It's available already. If you pre-order, I think you can get into the alpha and betas coming up. I am certainly very excited about Lost Ark for a sort of ARPG MMO hybrid. But the other thing that I'm just realizing is I just haven't heard much about Ashes of Creation for a long time. Oh, are they doing like their first release is going to be some sort of battle royale on Ashes of Creation? That's weird. It says, according to this, it says Ashes of Creation is in beta right now. I'm always a sucker for a really good MMO, and but I'm just kind of a little burnt out on all the ones that are out. Either just sort of not interested in them or have played them a lot. I think my favorite two MMOs or the ones that I spent the most time in were probably Lord of the Rings Online and World of Warcraft over the years. But I've played a lot of other ones as well and enjoyed a lot of other ones. Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of died. I don't, we've fished here now for a good bit. I mean, if you count, it's kind of our second night in a row. If you count the partial night we did on the, what was a, half episode earlier, I actually, started recording this one almost immediately after that. So I don't know. Maybe we've fished it out a little bit. Maybe we've had ground bait in there so long it's just gotten a little saturated. Maybe not having those leaders on is finally catching up to us. Not sure. Yay, more rough. But we'll put this out one more time because I do want to see like all the way till 7 a.m. see if anything interesting gets on. Make sure we don't just have an eye just kind of sitting there. I don't think we do, though. How much does traveling to Old Berg cost? 7.9 silver, Belaya 8.9, both relatively cheap. Not hard to make that amount back up. Oh, okay. Alright, hold on. Let's be a little careful here. We didn't realize our energy situation. Alright, this is when this spot seems to shine. Around 7 a.m. We start getting a little bit more interesting fish. I don't know. It's pretty slow this past overnight. I was surprised. Can we just bully this fish in? I don't know. It seems a little sketch. What is this? Oh, there he is. 2.12 bream. Very nice. Give it another couple minutes. Then we're going to go turn in our rough order. Apparently there is someone on Twitch, maybe not an English speaking, but that is fighting a really nice sized beluga. Yep, got it on perch. Oh, 13.44. Oh my goodness, he's been over it for almost 14 hours. I think the blue tag, wasn't the blue tag that was caught last few days, that fight was around 14 or so hours. Can you imagine if you're new to this game, fighting one fish for 14 hours? Oof. You gotta be no life in it at that point. Let's see if we can wait out one more fish bite here. Ooh, good job, Tice. In our chat, just caught a 48.5 kilo mirror carp. That is a big carp. Nice. It's a 100-pound carp. That is definitely a record. Global weekly record. Yep. I think we got to put our leaders back on, which means it's going to take forever to fight these fish. But I think that's possibly what's slowing us down like this. Bream are just cautious fish, you know. I mean, you can still catch them without leaders, it seems like, but I think it's got to be better with leaders. We're getting a nibble right now, but it's not on the line yet. So do we think we hit enough? Oh, no. We're one short, and we're just gonna have to be okay with that. I mean, I guess we could go, I'll throw them off the dock for a minute, just see if we get something, but there we go. We finally got this fish on, whatever it is. Careful with friction brake. This might be a roach. It could be a small bream, but it could be a roach. Oh, that's weird. That was something small, but it wasn't fully on yet. Oh well. Another like small bream, almost certainly. Okay, so what we want to do is put roach mix on. And yeah, we'll just keep it clipped. That's fine. We're going to go cast it over from the dock, I think, while we're looking at cafe orders and such. See if we can get that last roach. May cast one short, one a little longer. Can't believe this guy's almost at 14 hours on a beluga. So from here, I actually think you can just a lot of times catch fish straight out in here. But this one, might as well put the leader on, right? But this one will at least cast in that direction. It won't go all the way to the hole because we've got that clip on, but that's fine. And same thing with the worm, just for the fun of it. Are we already getting a nibble on that one? I think we are. Okay, let's check the cafe. So first of all, if we just straight sold them, we made 55 silver, and we're going to make nice silver on the rough order. All right, so the frog order's gone. Looks like replaced by another frog order. It's kind of sad. Probably is worth doing that gibble order. This is what we're hoping to get one more roach for. It only needs to be 300 grams. And most importantly, oh, that would have been nice. I guess if you sit there long enough, you'd probably get this order too. But most importantly, let's go ahead and, oh, look at that. 5 rough that aren't worth anything. We get 27 silver for them. And yeah, let's go ahead and do the gibble. Do I want to do it or do I want to wait and see what we catch here? See if we're catching anything. I think there's something on this first line, yeah. This could be a nice roach. It is indeed a very nice roach. So that might be as good a spot as any, just kind of right out in front here. Because you can float fish. I mean, you can catch all kinds of just basic Mosquito Lake fish right off this dock, float or feeder. Wonder what this will be. You know, we've got that leader back on, so it's probably a bream. Yeah, it's a freaking gibble. Wow, that's a nice gibble. Wow. Okay. Interesting. That's probably yeah, almost over a 3.5 silver gibble right there. 2.4 silver roach, but we're still gonna turn it in for the order unless we get another one real quick. I think we can catch rough here all day too. Or not all day, but I mean rough will come in this spot when rough are active. White bream might as well. It's a good little spot to fish from. I just don't know that it targets the bream quite as well as our other little spot, but it's probably still pretty interesting to fish here. Another roach, and that one's better to use with the order. Very nice. Okay, so again, that'll increase our total silver. Okay, so we've got 30 silver from that. Or no, sorry. 27 silver from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could hold out for better ones, but 25 silver from that, we'll say. So that's 52 silver. And then 55, we'll say 56 silver, because we're rounding down on the other one. We'll round up on that one. 56 plus 51 more. So we made 107 silver in this session. So we're already back up to 150. So we're back up to the place where we can get a third feeder kit or a first spinning kit. So it has been a very good episode. We hit level 12. A new lake and a new river is now available to us. We have also continued to hit harvesting bait points, which is awesome. Okay, I'm not going to spend anything or make any decisions right now because I'm pretty tired and I might think about it a little bit. But thanks for watching, and this is a good stopping point. We will see you again next time. Tight lines, everybody.